UN Under-Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs Valerie Amos spent 4 days in the occupied territories of East Jerusalem, Al-Quds, and the West Bank. She delivered her findings on Tuesday, and she was intensely critical of Israeli treatment of Palestinian refugees. Though she stopped short of calling the situation a humanitarian crisis, she said Palestinians cannot meet their basic needs, and Israel violates their human rights.
I met families evicted from their homes to make way for settler communities in the East Jerusalem neighborhoods of Sheikh Jarrah and Silwan. They face daily harassment and threats from neighboring settlers. Attacks on Palestinians are rarely prosecuted.
Amos repeatedly blasted Israeli zoning and planning restrictions, which she said forced many Palestinians to live in squalor. In many cases, the smallest improvements to a home, a school, or structure resulted in the buildings being torn down altogether.
Palestinians are frustrated by the impact of planning and zoning policies on their lives. They cannot move around freely, their homes are regularly demolished, and they cannot develop their communities.
The report also details how thousands of Palestinians have lost their rights to live in Al-Quds or access to medical care and education. In Area C, she visited a windowless one-room schoolhouse where, again, no improvements could be made for fear of occupiers demolishing it altogether. Mohammed Al-Korshan, who represents the Bedouin Palestinians, lives in Area C. He also spoke at the UN, saying that his people's basic humanitarian rights, including their traditional livelihoods as herders, are long gone. He then asked for UN humanitarian assistance.
And now, because we do not have access to natural resources, we are suffering a great deal, and our economies are collapsing. We live in a semi-permanent communities made of wood and metal, and we have no access to basic services, whether school or health services.
Amos plans to visit Gaza again because she said over 1 million people are dependent on food aid. She added that she and Secretary General Ban Ki-moon had raised their objections to the Israeli shootings of unarmed Palestinians during Nakba Day demonstrations on May 15th. Despite letters from Iranian, Lebanese, and Palestinian officials calling for an official UN reaction to the shootings, however, none has occurred. Hank Flynn, Press TV, New York.